Dana and I are going to see A Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan movie. Been listening to that this morning, and we're headed out the door. I still haven't put away my Sean Spins Final Tag records yet, but that's okay, because we got a movie to see. It's Sunday.
Your highways getting filled. And your
We made it to Woodinville, Washington, where we're at the AMC Theater. We've never been to this theater before, so that'll be fun. The sun came out for a minute right before it gets dark. So I got glasses on. It's been kind of dry this week, except for this morning it rained and it was dripping. And then the sun comes out while we're going to go sit inside for a couple hours. But it'll be dark when we get out. It's going to be dark in like an hour. It's 3:45, so it's how it is. We like the guy. We like his music. He's an interesting guy. Philosophical musician. Spiritual, maybe even, right? Amazing cat, that Bob Dylan. Almost to the theater. All right, here we are in the big retail mall-ish kind of center. Picking people up. Oh, look at this, Dana, look at that. We won the freaking parking lottery today. Look at that, huh? I mean, there is some other parking, but I'm going to celebrate a win, okay? There it is. All right, we got some corn. This one goes to 11. There we are. Here we go. This is what we like. The lounge chairs. Oh yeah, here we go.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
All right, everybody, we just got back from the theater seeing A Complete Unknown. Me and Dana went to the theater. We don't always do that. I haven't been to a movie. This is our first movie in 2025, right? And what did you think about it, love?
I loved it.
Loved it. I loved it too. It was amazing. Timothy Chalamet did a great freaking job playing Bob Dylan. He even looks like the guy. Kinda. But yeah, man, he sang. The guy could sing. It's funny how he caught so much shit for, the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Hey, why did he have to sing? And now he's singing like Bob Dylan. Amazing. And it was a great movie, great story. It's over 2 hours long and it just sort of flew by, didn't it? Like I didn't really notice, except for my bladder noticed. Because they sell you those big old tanker sodas. There's a large and then there's a regular, which is just a little smaller. I love Bob Dylan. I think he's a brilliant artist, masterful songwriter. He's the only songwriter to win a Nobel Prize. That wasn't in the movie. It's in the credits. At the end of the credits, they did one of those, after this happened, blah, 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 you know. Okay, so before we finish our review of how many stars or thumbs up or woohoos the movie gets, gonna have to share our very humble Bob Dylan collection. Uh-oh, the robot vacuum just turned on. Whoops, I woke up the robot vacuum. As I was saying, this is a record. I love this record. It's probably my favorite Bob Dylan record in our collection so far. And I bought it. I think I bought it at Daybreak for like $5. Oh, the wax is in great. It's weird how the wax is in good shape with this because the jacket is just fried. Look at this. Here's some tape on it from like the 1970s. I don't know. A really old yellowed piece of Scotch tape holding the bottom together. And then there's this, like it went through I don't know if somebody's cat was like, or what was going on here, but the wax is in great condition though. And I love this record. I put this record on probably more than any other Bob Dylan record in our collection. So what collection? I'll show you.
I wake up in the morning
here's my Bob Dylan list. I kind of went through this in the order that we have them in time. And if you, I'll just throw out I'll put my email address. You know, I don't know if you guys have any old Bob Dylan, even scratchy ones that you want to send my way that I'm not showing in here, because this is it. This is all the Bob Dylan I have. I'm a humble collector. I don't have the libraries that some folks have out there. I love all those videos, by the way, showing the massive Bob Dylan collections and stuff. Here's of course you see this a lot. Dylan's greatest hits. A lot of folks have that. This one's got some ring wear. It looks kind of beat, but it's wax. It's pretty dang good. I don't mind a scratchy Bob Dylan record. Not gonna lie, a little bit of scratchiness. It's okay. It's okay. Bob Dylan's greatest hits too. This one's a little harder to find. It's got the gatefold on it. There he is. This was $10. An old Daybreak records. Wax is in. It's a VG. It's a VG record right there. So those are the. Also, I found this box set. This was a pretty cool find. I think it was in Canada. Didn't we pick this up in Canada? It says Beats up in the corner. Bob Dylan. It wasn't 25. It was Canadian. So that was a good deal. I think we got that in Canada, didn't we? Yeah. I think you found that. Didn't you? Yeah. It's okay, this is cool. 1964. This one. That's my earliest Bob Dylan record. Right there. This one was in great shape. The jacket's in good shape. Wax ain't bad. We got Bob Dylan and John Wesley Harding. This one is from 1967, right? I believe. Nashville Skyline. Here's one that, I talked about this one in another video. Some of the relationship that Johnny Cash and Bob Dylan had resulted in the production of this here awesome record. I'm not a Dylanographer, by the way. That's some of the Dylanographers. Like, there's some stuff in the movie that's obviously, they always make the story, they got to jazz it up a little bit and fictionalize some things. But it was good. His relationship with Woody Guthrie, stuff like that was a little bit, was a little bit. Had to tease that out. New Morning, 1970. 1969 was the New Morning. This one's in great condition. Able to find this and just like, wow. Another 1970 Bob Dylan record, of course, is Self-Portrait. That's a great one. Did not know that Dylan had such a interesting relationship with Joan Baez. I was really cool to know about that. I really didn't know. I didn't know about Joan Baez, and I knew about Johnny Cash and Bob Dylan stuff, of course, but I don't know why Joan Baez, is that like a dude thing, or maybe I'm just not into folk music as much. But Joan Baez was a big part of Dylan's life back then, when he was discovered and such. 1975, Blood on the Tracks. This is another really clean copy. I got at Daybreak for like, I don't know, $10 or something like that. Wax is in great shape. It's probably a repress, but I'm going to leave it. I'm going to pull it out for you, but there it is. We also got Street Legal, 1978. Yeah, that is 1978 on this one. Pretty sure Street Legal. Didn't you say you remembered your dad buying that one when you were a kid? Street Legal? Or was it this one?
Was Street Legal?
1979. This one was
I think it was the one.
It was this one?
I think so.
Yeah. Slow Train Coming, Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
679, yes. Now we're up into the 80s. 1983. Infidels. It's Bob with the glasses. He wears the glasses in the movie. These are Wayfarers. Those weren't invented yet. But it's sort of a, he liked to wear the sunglasses, kind of hide in there somewhere, right? I remember when this record came out in 83, because I remember I didn't know that much about Bob Dylan as a teenager, but I did know that all the rock stars really liked Bob Dylan, so he was like hanging out with a lot of big names in rock and roll at the time when that album came out. This was a 2021 release, Joker Man. I thought it was cool. It's a single. There's like a reggae remix version that's pretty cool. I liked it. The dub mix of I and I was like, whatever, the dub mix, I wasn't fired up about that one, but I did like the reggae Joker Man. It's pretty cool. So that's it, man. That's all we got for Bob Dylan records, and we did enjoy the movie a lot. I mean, I recommend it. It's going to be in theaters for 3 months. It's not on streaming. Like, you can't pay for it on streaming. Like, some movies would come out. That was a pandemic thing that maybe is starting to go away now. I think it's good to get out of your freaking house and go to the theater. You saw that theater. Comfortable chairs, right? You could put your legs up and the drink right there. Tickets didn't cost any more money than they do at the stadium seating. They were actually pretty cheap. It was a pretty good night. It was like, what, $20 for the tickets and then $20 for popcorn and a drink, which around here is a good deal, sadly. But we had fun. Sunday night, went to the movies, and A Complete Unknown, I give it 5 stars. 2 thumbs up. Dana, give it a thumbs up? How many stars? 5 stars.
Out of 10 or 5?
Out of 5. Out of 10. How many out of 10?
I liked it. 10.
10. 10 stars from Dana. Yeah, I'd give it 10 stars. Sure. It was the best movie I've seen in a while. Especially, we talk about documentaries. Or docudrama. It's not a documentary. It's a fictionalized to a certain degree. But they kept a lot of the stuff in there. You have to mess with time a little bit. So I understand some of the history. There's a bunch more videos. Oh, before I go, you got to see Nardwar's interview with Timothy Chalamet, by the way.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome. Hey, welcome.
What's going on?
Welcome, Timothy, to Record Surplus. Bootleg by Bob
Dylan. Is this Swingin' Pig?
from 1969. Wow. It has some early recordings done in a hotel room.
Unbelievable.
What can you say about the early recordings of Bob?
Early recordings. Something I'll just point out real quick. The 1959, 1960 recordings of Bob Dylan, he hadn't gotten bronchitis yet, so his voice didn't have this sort of crazy scratch he had the rest of his career. So the Bob Dylan we hear on Nashville Skyline, that sounds more like Kermit the Frog or something, he actually sounded like that originally. Yes, sir.
Interesting. And that actually was pressed in Vancouver, Canada. Okay. A Canadian connection.
Okay.
So the first ever bootleg ever, probably from 1969, was pressed in Vancouver, Canada. The 61 era of Dylan, and a bit later era too.
Amazing. All roads lead through Canada. Shout out Vancouver.
And Brantford.
I was going to, absolutely.
So yeah, don't miss the Nardwar. I'll even put a link in the description to that because it's so good. Timothy Chalamet, young actor in the film. He was also a producer. Like, that's pretty cool. He helped produce the movie, didn't just act in it. Nardwar is an interviewer up in Vancouver, BC. Long history, this guy. He starts doing YouTube videos. He does a Timothy Chalamet video. What was cool about that is, like, I would watch the movie first and then watch this interview with Nardwuar, because he's in a record store interviewing Chalamet, and he's pulling records that are like in the film. Right? Like there's some of the records, some of the, you know, the performances and the, you know, recorded live stuff is like he's pulling some of these records. Woody Guthrie records, you know, Johnny Cash, Joan Baez. I'm like, oh wow, okay, that's cool. I might watch it again. Nardwuar's great. Nardwuar was the last guy to interview Kurt Cobain, like 2 months before he passed. But yeah, I recommend that as well. You know, I wasn't always into Bob Dylan as much as when I got older and started to become more sober-minded, you know, more curious, as it were. And it wasn't just a great movie because it was about Bob Dylan. It was also a great movie because it was about how art affects social change, right? Social unrest, troubled times like we're having today, you know? Thanks again for watching. Peace. Later.